We just released an album called Chicken Fight yesterday, actually. So we're gonna play a lot of those tunes. Shout out to the guy in the chicken outfit over here. This one's for you, man.
No, we are Q105.3. We're Savannah's only locally owned radio station. Everybody else is, owned by some big company. So we're the only ones with a local owner. So I appreciate y'all being here for us. Um, and I'd love to just start off with you guys talking a little bit about yourselves, how you met, how you became a band. I know y'all went to college together, I believe, or some of y'all did. Um,
And some, yeah.
yeah. So you guys mind starting from the beginning?
Yeah. So Blake Bennett and I went to high school together and met through high school. And we actually had a band there. And meanwhile, Preston was in high school in Dothan, Alabama, and had his band there. And we all kind of split up for college. And that's when I went to Auburn University and met Preston. And me and him started playing music together. And then COVID happened, and it kind of gave us a reason to all go back home, obviously. Um, and that's kind of when we just started jamming at first, kind of quarantined up in my house. And from there, when everything started, coming back to life, and events started happening again, we all just would play some things in Auburn. And that eventually led to Bennett transferring to Auburn from High Point University. And then Blake moved to Auburn. And that was kind of the kickstart.
Very cool. So talking about jamming, like as far as the creative process goes, how do you guys go about writing your music? Does it just start off with like a guitar riff, or do you guys have the lyrics written and then you write the music to it? How does that work for you guys?
Kind of every which
Yeah, works a lot of ways. Like,
someone brings an idea and everyone digs it. And sometimes it's done. Sometimes it needs all the work in the world. Sometimes we come up with something on the spot. But yeah, it's a fun way to go. Just very
when
fluid.
well, yeah, when we're jamming, like writing, in that sense of like writing together, it's like, yeah, there'll be like a bass line or a guitar riff or, even like, yeah, whatever part comes out of it's kind of I don't know, it's this fun like building process almost. It can be like tedious, but in the end, it's like this cool. I don't know. Sometimes it takes a while, but you get to just like select parts and pick this and that, and like, oh, this would be cool here. This is too normal. Let's change. Let's make this a little weirder. Stuff like that.
Well, very cool. I've been listening to a lot of your music, especially lately, to prepare for the interview with you guys. So I hear bits and pieces from a lot of different genres. So how would you guys go about classifying, for like a listener? How would you go about classifying like what kind of music y'all play?
I
I
think
think as
rock
we
is like a general word that is kind of easy to say because it can mean a lot of different things. Uh, we usually tell people we're like anywhere from indie rock to hard rock.
yeah, I think as we kind of develop and grow and become better songwriters, the stuff we write changes as well. Just getting into different things along the way.
Who would you say y'all's influences are as far as music goes?
I think it's like everybody. I'm definitely like started off being like into blues and like Allman Brothers stuff um and like was heavy into that like get Southern rock realm kind of, and then like British Invasion. But I think everybody should probably just go one by one because it varies.
Right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm big into the Beatles, Elvis, 50s, 60s, golden oldies stuff and have been for a while, but yeah, that's kind of my favorite.
think when
Blake?
we all started, a big thing that we talked about a lot was just classic rock in general. You know, where and just music where like nobody's afraid of a longer guitar solo, you know, or just a lot of fun like instrumental things rather than today where there's a lot of very like crafted pop songs. They kind of just cut to the chase. I think we've enjoyed making our songs like fun to play while they're also, you know, thankfully some people enjoy them and enjoy the melodies and all the other aspects. But we're all big classic rock guys for sure.
And I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Blake. Was that you?
No, they summed it up pretty much. I mean, yeah.
And I'm sure growing up in the South, obviously Southern rock, I'm sure, is a big influence on you guys. Do you like coming to a place like Savannah? You know, we're we're kind of like Charleston's little sister, basically. Have y'all played here a lot before?
We've played Victory North twice, right?
Maybe 3 times.
I
I want
think
to say
Yeah,
3 times.
we love
Yeah, I think this will
Savannah.
be our fourth.
we played with Moon Taxi that one time as well.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah.
Savannah's
Yeah,
great.
Blake's got family in town, so we always kind of feel a bit at home. I feel like all the family comes to town. Like Bennett's family is usually there, and it's always like a really comfortable. It's just like such a fun vibe in that town, like quintessential beach town, easy going. We got a cool thing.
Savannah's like a second home for sure.
Very cool. Well, y'all do tour a lot. I know that's kind of that seems to have ramped up a lot more lately for y'all after coming out with your new album and seeing a little more success. What's that road life like for you guys?
It's long.
It's
Surprisingly, we're touring less
a
though.
lot.
Yeah, definitely.
We started off like you kind of have to like earn your stripes in a way, and you know if you're not getting like a viral Instagram or TikTok video, then the most like tried and tested way to to gain fans is just to tour. So we're actually touring less than we usually do, which is surprising. This is nice and chill for us.
Yeah, we went crazy for a minute.
Yeah, I mean the big thing is that we're like we're still learning a lot about, you know, getting through long tours and just making sure that our show can be consistent and with each new tour can be better than the last one. And you know, there's a lot of fun in that process of just figuring out what those little things that we can change could be, and you know how we could add certain elements to make the show better than you know the last time somebody saw it. Which is, and it's always really great to hear from somebody. Like every time I see y'all, it's better and better, and I think that keeps us going. You know.
Yeah, we also just did a run with Flip Turn and like doing they're like at just a whole nother level than us and being able to see a crew like that and learn from how it's done by the next biggest guy or like many levels above even in their case it's like it's cool to just like I feel like we've learned so much over the years from all the people that have given us opportunities to tour with them. You know, start like the Vagabonds was a band that gave us like a huge chance like when we were starting, and they were just like, "Y'all come play a bunch of shows with us," and you know, they really put us in front of a lot of people and at a time where they didn't have to, and so stuff like that where you just learn from people, and you know, it's a it's tiring at times, but yeah, there's so many good times, and like it's fun along the way, and you get to play music every night, and I think especially what Wyatt said, like hearing when you know people appreciate the show is getting better, and it's not stagnant. That's cool and worth it.
Yeah, I feel like. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Almost done.
I think that there might have been an echo there. You go ahead.
No worries. I was going to say it seems like, one thing that's awesome about the music industry is specifically in touring is that, you get to go tour with bands that you really emulate and you look up to. And then in the reverse, as you start to grow as a band and start to climb up into those headliner roles, you get to then pass down, and say, hey, I really want to bring this band in and give them a shot because I think they're really awesome. Do you guys appreciate, I mean, how that kind of works like that, as you were saying, earn your stripes, and then you get to kind of pay it forward to somebody else that's trying to do the same thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is really cool.
it's
This band, the band Honey out of Auburn recently, I feel like is somebody we've played with a couple times, and I don't know, just like being able to kind of believe in somebody who's trying to do the same thing.
for sure. It's in a music industry that's so conglomerated with so much these days, and it's oversaturated. It's really nice to be able to give people who you think deserve a chance, that chance, because they're really hard to come by these days. So being able to provide that for definitely very cool.
Nice. You guys want to talk about Chicken Fight a little bit? That came out,
We
that came out in last summer. Um, so tell me a little bit about this album for you guys, and I'm sure that's kind of dominating a bit of your set list right now. So yeah, go for it.
I think the songs are just really a step up from anything we've put out in the past. Whereas, in the past, we would book time at the album and the EP we did at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals, which was such an awesome experience because of the history there. But it was very expensive, and we didn't really, plan ahead because we were, didn't really know what was going on. But so we only booked, like 2 days for the EP and went in there, and everything was very rushed. But this last album, it was over the course of, I guess, like over a year, really. So we had a lot of time and we grew a lot as people and musicians during that time. So I think it's, definitely the body of work I'm most proud of from us, and I think the best songs we've put out.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with all that. Just like being having time to decide on how certain things sound without it, and even yeah, it is a lot of it's dominating the set list these days. But it's fun because there's like depth in the album. We have like if we want to pick a slower song or a faster song to play each night, it seems like there's at least one off the album that's like interchangeable, and the songs have grown in their own ways. Like some of them live, and just been like fun to um they've been fun to play. So.
Do you guys mix up your set lists at all so that like every night it's a different show? Do you guys do covers? Like how do you guys plan out your set list from night to night?
Honestly, a lot of them are written within the hour of us going on stage. Sometimes we'll write them in advance if it's a big show that like we need to have our light guy like he sometimes he'll request them earlier. And we can have like a general outline sometimes, but I think we all do like to just switch it up as much as possible. And as far as covers, we're definitely we started as a cover band like way back in the day, so they're fun to play, I think, but as we've put out, our body of work has grown. I think we've been doing less and less of them. When we play like social events for like schools or like parties and stuff, we like to throw in a couple in there, but for the most part, we like being able to just play a full set of our own music.
I feel like recently too, with as many shows as we've played, we've realized that like there's moments for like a good cover. Like it was our light guy's birthday and Wyatt's birthday the other night, and we just like I don't even think it was ever like truly rehearsed. It was like
No.
it went down and it was awesome. A Gorillas cover.
Oh, that's fantastic. Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
so
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah,
It was a fun
absolutely.
night.
That sounds fantastic. I mean, I like that it seems like, you guys will just let it kind of go with the flow, very organic. and if something starts happening, just let it happen on stage. I think that gives a really awesome live performance. You never know what to expect from you guys. Because a lot of bands, especially that tour as much as y'all have been, the sets kind of become canned, and it's just like, hey, we just need to get, kind of just slogging through every destination. So that's awesome to hear that you guys are out there having fun, keeping it fresh.
We've been loving it.
Yeah,
We've
I
been
think
throwing in new songs too. Some songs we're working on now for the whenever the next album's gonna be, but love keeping it interesting and mixing it up. Yeah.
yeah, I think it makes every show just more memorable. Like you were saying, like when the sets are less canned, like you just there's usually something that's different that happens each night that just kind of makes the whole like process of touring, just more memorable and distinguishable.
So when you guys, like Bennett was saying, you guys kind of bring in some new material from time to time. Where do you like what type of crowd do you really feel like, hey, let's try one on this crowd. Like let's see what kind of reaction we're going to get from them. Do you like to do it more in a known area, like going back to Auburn and doing something there, or would you rather try it on something like that's completely, left field for you guys?
You don't
You really got to read the room.
we don't really just either. Like we'll write the set, and if it's in there, and maybe it's a loud crowd and they just want to talk, we'll still play it anyways. Maybe everyone's like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
we played it in front of a couple thousand people with Flip Turn. We played a new song. Didn't even really think twice about it, but it was received super well. It was received super well in Greenville, South Carolina. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely times where we're like, maybe we don't do this.
We
And
yeah we called it on the talk back like, scrap it, we're doing fire alarm. Yeah.
Yeah.
um, we find our sets to be strategically written subconsciously in the sense of like peaks and valleys and stuff, and it's just being able to continue to write albums like I think Bennett and Preston said earlier in this call, where you just have range in your album and you can go from hard to soft and maybe somewhere in the middle, and just continuing for us to write albums like that, it makes writing these roller coaster sets a lot easier. So yeah, we don't really give much thought into it. It's just if the vibe's off, then we all kind of seem to agree upon it randomly. So
I think the thing that we discuss the most in our sets is like how many slow songs should we play, because
Yeah,
we do
that's
have a lot of like we have
our
some
crew's like,
ballads
don't
and
play
some,
'em.
yeah, we have some more like acoustic stuff, and weirdly, people like to stream those songs more sometimes than the heavier ones, but we like to think that our live show is kind of known to be pretty rowdy and energetic, and definitely our favorite songs to play live are some of those heavier ones. So that's like, if there's ever any disagreement, it's over like, oh, like, is that too many slow songs in the set, or like, is this not enough or whatever. That's really it.
It's like a good mixtape, right? You got to have a good flow to it. You got to have
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's more of like, well, we already played 4 like fast ones here. We need one slow, and it's like, all right, well, which one are we gonna change out? We only have so many, kind of thing.
well, you got to give your audience a little bit of a breather so they don't pass out on you.
That's I think is the important
True.
too, like
True.
depth of a show is you don't want to lose people's attention by just going balls to the wall for an hour and a half. It's hard for anybody to stay with that. So yeah, you got to realize that too. And yeah, that's the stuff you learn from doing it for a long time, I guess.
yeah.
Very, very cool. So where is home base for you guys now?
Like
We're between
some of us
Atlanta
are
and
in,
Charleston.
yeah, like we're writing and recording in Atlanta right now pretty much, and some of us are living in Charleston off the road, but um yeah, kind of Atlanta based pretty much.
Very cool. Back to touring a little bit. Like, do you guys prefer the festival circuit, or you guys like smaller clubs, or what? What do you? Or you're just kind of like, hey, man, we'll take whatever we can get at this point.
I think the goal of any, rock band in our position is to like fill in those bigger rooms. And so I think we have some of our most like energetic shows at these small, clubs. But you know, I think I can speak for everyone when I say the bigger ones are more exciting because it's just there's more on the line and you kind of, play a little better and jump around a little more.
Hmm. I think it's nice to like switch it up too. Like, you know, when you're playing small, like when we went out west for the first time playing a bunch of small rooms, like you miss the big ones. But then there's something about those first couple of shows in back in the smaller rooms that are super fun. You're like, oh, I missed this. And then, when it's not festival season, you're like, it'd be nice to be outside in front of a big crowd at a festival right now. Like it's kind of nice to just have a plethora of different types of shows. I think that kind of keeps it fresh.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of we haven't played enough festivals to say that we're like tired of them yet either. So I'd be lying if I said that those are awesome. But
Yeah.
the small the small clubs are fun, and that is like when there's a good crowd reception in a small club, like when you can feel the energy in the room, and like that's when it is nice to play loud amps because you can just like feel the room, and that is rock and roll and that's fun. But yeah, it's cool to see the big production too, and all the technical aspects of the festivals. I think is pretty awesome as well.
Do y'all have like a venue that you really love to play in, or one that you would really love to play at that you haven't played at before?
We're playing at the
Um,
Troubadour in California, right? That's
Nice.
gonna be pretty awesome. It's legendary.
Yeah.
yeah, it's up in Hollywood. I personally, there's this venue in New York. I think it's called Pier 17 or something like that. Blake, you
Yeah.
might know. I think Mitchell's worked there a couple times, but it's like just a couple thousand capacity, and it's on like a rooftop in New York where you can like, see like the Statue of Liberty, and like you can just see a bunch of stuff in the background. And I think the outdoor ones are always really fun when the weather is nice to us. That's one we haven't played, but that I would like to play at some point.
Have y'all done a
Yeah.
lot of international or no?
We've
None.
never done it.
First
Yep.
We're going to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And then
We
right
all
back down to Washington.
we all love traveling internationally on our own accord. We all love Europe. We all speak a little Spanglish, not so good at French, but we're definitely trying to get into the South America and Central America, and we'd love to go to Europe when the time is right. But got to go to Canada first. So
It's still international, right?
Yeah,
hey,
we'll count it.
Yeah.
It's outside the borders. It's all right.
yeah.
Um, all right. Well, what do we have? What's coming up for you guys? Are you guys planning an album or anything like that after, like you talked about playing some new songs from time to time? Are you guys just working through this tour, or maybe you're going to put together?
We have a we have a live album coming out soon. Soon should be soon. Keep saying soon. But it's been from like a bunch of shows from the last year, and so that's something to look forward to. And then yeah, working on a new album that hopefully sometime next year. Who knows when it'll be out? But
Yeah. Kind of in the early process of that, which is exciting. But we also just announced like a fall tour, so we'll be on the road um, for most of the fall. A little bit of some breaks in the summer, but the shows keep rolling.
Very cool. All right. Well, I have like a quick rapid fire questions for you guys. Um, what is the best pre-show ritual for you guys? Anybody got one?
Uh, joint.
I was gonna say that, but then I was like, can we say that?
And then a cigarette.
Well, this is Blake. This is Blake's answer.
silence and guitar. I don't know.
I feel you. You need a little something to mellow out before, keep you cool before the show, calm the nerves.
Yes.
I'd like to get a round of chest bumps in with everybody before we go up, but we don't really do anything like creepy, ritualistically. Like Some bands get weird, but we're kind of just like, oh, let's go do it.
No chopping off chicken heads or anything like that.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
We do not.
Nothing's getting summoned either, you know.
Let it be known that we don't endorse chicken fighting. We do. We're very
Yeah. The thought behind that was that it's like the game that people play in the pool where there's like two, like you get on somebody's shoulders, you know about that?
Sure, yeah.
That was kind of like, at least when that word first came about, that was like what I was thinking of, and then we kind of realized like,
Oh my gosh.
hopefully we don't get into some trouble with.
You weren't
You know,
talking about cockfighting. That's totally different.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
whole
think
other
that,
genre.
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
We get it.
All right. Well, that was one of the rapid fire questions. So if there was a real chicken fight in the pool, who's teaming up and who's going to win?
Dude, whoever's on my shoulders,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
it up. Let's be real.
Bennett's a big guy. I was literally gonna say whoever's on Bennett's
I think
shoulder. just
Bennett and
get him
Blake
done.
would be probably like an undefeatable duo.
Blake
I
would get
hate to say
scrappy
it.
up there with his hands. He's
Yeah.
got long nails.
No, I don't. I have the shortest nails.
I don't know about that, but
I'm like a cobra, you know. I hit you with the pump, and then you don't even see the left hit you. It's just
yeah, I think Blake might play a little dirty, but he probably
The real
win.
strategy is the person on the bottom splashing the water to
Yeah,
add to the
karate chop
chaos
the
of
water.
what's going on up top.
There you go.
can't
So
give
there's
away
a whole nother secondary fight going on, is what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
Don't forget
multiple
about
levels
strategy
to
going
this.
the whole hoop
we
comp.
haven't done it enough. If you can't tell, we haven't really. It's all like theoretical. at
Right.
this-
Right. It's more of an instrumental chicken fight, if you will.
yeah.
Mhm.
What kind of goes with the last question I had about venue, but what's your favorite city to play in if you guys had to pick one so
I think
far?
DC is probably my favorite. I love DC.
I'd say New York.
I agree with both of those, but I kind of fuck with San Diego.
San Diego's sick. Yeah, the Casbah.
San Diego's a good time. I bet.
I think we got to mention Charleston too. We've just had a lot of success playing there, and some of us living there. It's always a fun time.
Nice. All solid choices. All solid choices.
And Savannah's up there.
Yeah,
There you
shout
go.
out to
There
him.
we go. Thanks, guys.
Won't answer emails, so
What's that?
Tybee Time won't answer our emails. We can't get a set there, so
At the Tybee Theater?
no, that one we would be too loud. I think we'd break the windows.
Oh, because they have they've had like some classic rock bands playing there, like Everclear,
let's
who's out
go.
there.
Crazy.
Like they have like a little Tybee mini fest out there.
Damn.
I can't remember. They had Everclear and somebody else was playing out there last summer. But
That's cool.
I might be able to hook you guys up. Try to get you guys. You guys want to play out there?
I got
that'd be awesome.
a house on 9th Street. It's been in the family for like 40 years, and I've never heard of a rock show on Tybee, so maybe I'm out of the loop, but it would be so fun.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd
awesome.
be cool.
How about dream collaboration? If you guys could collab with any band.
Oof. Lenny Kravitz.
He stole mine.
Then I guess that's the answer.
With any bands,
Ringo?
Could be dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive. Wow. Jeff
I think
Lynne.
like an all chick band would be like really cool to collab with too, like the Bengals or like the Go Go's.
Screaming females.
Heart.
That's the most Wyatt answer you've received all day in this interview.
Dude, a collab with the
Imagine
B-52s
that.
would be nuts.
Oh,
Collab with what was that, Bennett?
The B-52s.
Okay.
I've changed my answer to Jeff Lynne.
that'd
That's
be
a
great.
good.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to go up to Boston, Tom Schultz, and just go record in his studio with him.
Probably give you mind.
Is he still kicking?
Yeah.
Nice.
All
Good to
right.
hear.
So last one. This would be, what is your wildest fan interaction on tour?
I've got one right off the bat, and we can all maybe say different ones, but this just came right to mind. And we played in Clemson at like a crappy little bar. They like we play on the floor, and this was like maybe more than 3 years ago or something crazy. But um, and we got like basically to sum it, to shorten the story, we just got followed back to our hotel by these chicks, and we were kind of like we had to like run in, and it was like those hotel doors that like lock behind you. So it was just
You have
like
to have your
frantic,
key, but
kind of
it's an
like we were
automatic
like
door.
we like noticed that they were like following us, I think, and then yeah, it became like a thing of like, all right, let's run, like we to get away from them. Um, yeah, that definitely stood out because that's like the only time that's
We
happened.
like barely made it through the sliding doors and it like closed behind us. They were like, wait. Like, went back.
We don't normally run from girls,
Right.
so
Yeah.
Yeah, we're usually chasing them, so
You could tell these were on the hunt, though.
yes.
Oh yeah.
yeah, they're.
Yeah, the
It was a
proud.
strange night. It was just this. Clemson's pretty tame, but that night was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think of an early show we did in Athens in some fraternity basement, but this girl was just like super drunk and like fell or tripped or something, but in such a way where she fell directly on my pedal board, but like face first onto my pedal board and then like scorpioned over with her legs above her head. And it was just like the wildest, kind of most like unnatural thing I've ever seen. But
We're just like in the middle of
we
playing.
almost
You're kind of
killed
like, what are you
people
gonna
too,
do?
dude. I mean, we had a like a full like EVPA like fall like a good like 6 7 feet
Oh my
full
God.
force
I
on a
remember, dude,
chick.
I
Like,
forgot I in Dothan.
we almost killed someone. We've been
That
through a
was
Well,
lot.
that wasn't our fault. That was like,
Dude, that was
uh,
crazy. We were playing on a stage that was like chest level, and then we had the PA that was on the speaker stand, and it fell over and smacked this girl on the top of the head, and she kept partying. She was
Dude, I
fine.
was
yeah.
shocked that she didn't die. Like, there's got to be some sort of lasting damage, or she has the
Well,
strong
there was a
skull
big
known to
dent
man.
in it. She
there,
dented it. Remember?
there was
She
Yeah,
was
also,
dude.
blood.
How do you just body that?
there
Yeah.
was also the
Crazy.
girl who fell off the back of the inflatable water slide.
Oh, that was bad.
That
We
was
were gonna
kind
Yeah,
of
but
go on
that
for an
bad.
wasn't even
encore,
like,
and they were like, "Nah, the ambulance is here."
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
yeah, less of an interaction, but more of like a showstopper. That
Sounds
one.
like a blooper reel,
Um,
what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
It's
yeah.
like a house,
Uh,
but
Straight
Another
up.
crazy
what
one
the
is Preston signed this guy's like leg, and
Yeah.
he just literally went right away to a tattoo parlor and got it tattooed on him,
And then came
which
back to
is that
loadout,
was
and
a
he's like,
crazy
"Check it
night.
out," and we were all like, "Dude, what?"
Like, dude, why?
But
That's
now he's like a
crazy.
homie, which
Yeah,
he's
dude,
a
I was
cool
like,
guy.
"Tickets for life." Like, hit me up. Yeah, Wayne, shout out Wayne.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I have one last question that I just thought of that I'd love to ask you guys, and that is, so you guys, this is your regular gig, right? You guys you're not like waiting tables
no.
or uh, you're not like a postman or something like that trying to make ends meet. So you guys get to live your dream on the road. So how is that? How does that feel to, be able to be creative? Maybe you're not, you know, living in the McMansions yet, hopefully someday soon, but nonetheless, you get to be creative and have fun with what you do in life. So what do you guys think about
Yeah,
that?
I think we're all extremely grateful. And at times, it doesn't even feel like it's real, It's stuff that we all dreamed about doing or didn't even think was possible when we were growing up, just, falling in love with our instruments. And yeah, I think we're, it still blows our minds pretty often just that we get to do this. We're definitely very thankful.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's like it's hard to accept that it's real sometimes. That it's like such a dream come true in some aspects of like, yeah, and just that people want to support us like they do is like just crazy and cool. So thanks to anybody who's ever listened or come to a show.
Do you
Yeah,
guys?
and thanks for
Oh,
the
sorry. Go ahead. Sorry,
opportunity.
buddy.
I was just going to say thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys try to stay away from the business side and stay towards the creative, or does any one person really enjoy the business aspect of it?
I think we wouldn't be here today if we didn't really enjoy owning a business and, investing into it, making it grow and helping it grow. But we're definitely hitting a point now where your business reaches a certain threshold on all fronts, and there's now different sectors that didn't exist when we were, just playing frat shows and booking our own stuff. So the delegation of business to people we trust is something we're getting into seriously now, but we definitely all care about it. But we also want to be able to just be purely creative because it's what we're best at. So that's definitely the goal of ours, is to, have control over our business and be the final say so of how it's conducted, but, be the least involved possible without bad things happening.
Sure.
So, but we
Yeah.
love to be creative. Is why we are so lucky to, like you said, have this be our gig. And yeah, we just need to keep being weirdos and letting people,
Yeah.
100%, 100%. Well, listen, thank you guys for dropping in on us and just chatting for a little bit. I look forward to you guys coming into town. It's on the 24th, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday at Victory North. Yeah,
Sweet.
I look forward to it. I love live music, so I look forward to checking y'all out. It'll be a good time for sure.
Oh yeah, let's
Heck
grab
yeah.
a
Glad
Look
to
forward
be
to
there.
meeting you, man.
Yeah,
All right. Well, you guys be well, and as you say, stay weird.
You too.
Thanks,
Thank you
well.
so much.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jeff.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.